Hello, viewers. This is Dr. Felicia of Social Conscience. Usually you see a smile on my face, a smile or laughter on my face. But today, I came to you with a heavy heart because of what I saw yesterday on social media about an Igbo girl from Enugu that was raped by a gang of subhuman lunatics from the north. It really upset me yesterday, but since I've already prepared what I have to do today, that will be a topic for another time. Today, I'm going to discuss the killing of George Floyd. The killing of George Floyd at the hands of Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin convulsed the nation and the world and sparked national and global outrage and protests that America has never seen for a long time. Protests from all over the world, blacks, whites, Spanish, Native Americans from Britain, Germany, Sweden, Canada, Italy, Poland, Nigeria, Australia, and beyond. All of them joined the US in protesting against the painful killing of unarmed black man, whose only purported crime, alleged crime, is that he was suspected of holding a $20 bill. The global outrage is not just because of Floyd's killing. After all, a lot of unarmed blacks have been killed for nothing, practically nothing. In 2020 alone, prior to the outrage, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor were senselessly killed for just being black. The outrage is because of the manner with which Floyd was killed. Chauvin knelt on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds and refused to let go while Floyd pleaded for his life, for his air, for water, saying, "I can't breathe." And while the other passers-by were also appealing to him to let go, but he refused. The footage of him kneeling on poor, defenseless Floyd always brought tears to my eyes, so I stopped looking at the footage. But today, I will not dwell on the dead because all of you know about it. Today, I want to talk about the national movement for change and how we can all help in that change for good. We need to use our collective voices to speak out against systematic racism and injustice against the blacks. Not just in US or South Africa, but blacks all over the world. We need to speak out against African leaders that oppress their own fellow blacks. All of us, white, black, brown, we need to collectively work together to end the centuries and decades of pain. We should ask and continue asking the government until we get what we're asking for a reform of police and criminal justice system, for ending chokehold and stranglehold. Thank God, the lawmakers led by Madam Pelosi passed Anti-Chokehold Act named after Eric Garner. And this is the beginning of the sweeping changes that we're going to see. We should not only address economic and racial inequalities, but actually implementing measures to ensure economic and racial justice. There's no time to go into the changes that will need to happen immediately, right now. Actually, my main reason for this video is to talk to my fellow blacks all over the world. Blacks in America, in the Caribbean, and in the African continent. More often than not, we tend to shift all blame to white-dominated government without looking inwards. Floyd's death should be a tipping point for blacks to come together and lift and lift one another up. I'm emotional, especially the less privileged. The black celebrities and wealthy ones among us can come together to help the black youths and keep them out of streets where they are easy targets for the police shooting. The black youths sell drugs to survive. The black girls turn into strippers to survive. All because some of them cannot get a job in a system that make it difficult for them to get that job and stay there. We have many millionaires, wealthy millionaires and billionaires like Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jordan, Tyler Perry, Jay-Z, and Beyonce, to mention a few. These financial heavyweights can collectively build black businesses, banks, and industries, and employ people, not just the blacks, but also other races. They can also build low budget or affordable houses and help struggling blacks and other minorities afford their own home. And I'm sure they will work hard to pay the mortgage when they get this loan from black-owned banks. The other day, the news reported that Michael Jordan gave a donation of $100 million for blood cause. Though this donation was generous, he could have used this money to build industries and small manufacturing plants that could employ hundreds of blacks and other minorities. There's a saying that says, don't give someone a fish, teach him how to fish, and he will be free of asking for handouts. Before I say goodbye, I want to share with you something a young man, an inspiring young man from Nigeria or another African country who I saw in the video in social media. And strangely enough, that thought has not crossed my mind. That is what the young man suggested. Briefly, he asked, why can't the African American millionaires and African leaders and millionaires go to African countries, to their roots, and build and develop Africa? He said the reason why blacks and African Americans cannot breathe is because they are forsaking their roots. They are forsaking their motherland, where they will be treated with dignity and respected as human beings. He cited the example with the Jews and the Chinese, who we all know go back to their country, even when they are not born there, and build their cities and develop the economy. The African Americans are the only race that never go to their motherland, Africa. Perhaps because of the bad image of poor African neighborhoods that is shown on Western media. But they should know that many cities in Africa are well developed and have everything we have here. The time has come for African America to think about going to their roots, like the Jews and Chinese and the Spanish, and even Nigerians who refuse to go home. Let's all start now to think and act constructively. The operative word is act, not just thinking or talking or praying without action. May God help us all. Thank you.